Welcome everyone! Today we're presenting our project workshop on plasticity models for spiking neural networks. The key objectives are shown here. They include understanding and modeling calcium-based plasticity and implementing the mechanism in SML. But first of all, let's grasp the theory. Synaptic plasticity is the ability of the brain to reorganize its neural connections in response to experience and activity, which underlie learning and memory. In particular, calcium-based spike timing-dependent plasticity mechanism, or STDP, involves the timing of neural impulses and calcium influx at synapses. When the presynaptic neuron fires before the postsynaptic neuron, increased calcium levels enhance synaptic strength, promoting long-term potentiation. If the order is reversed, the synapse is weakened, inducing long-term depression. So calcium dynamics dictate the direction and magnitude of synaptic change in STDP. We started to realize a synapse model based on a mechanism expressed in the kinemy model, and considering the neuron as point-like, in it we use the leak integrate and fire neuron model. Now we'll show you the model we created in more detail.
So at first we focused on the postsynaptic dynamics of the kinemy model, which are briefly described here, and we didn't account for the presynaptic dynamics, meaning the probability of release of the vesicles was set to 1. Also, we decided not to model the currents, while what we did use from the kinemy model are the equations of the synaptic efficacy and weight, which is here the steady-state value of G ampere, and it is directly dependent on rho. Studying the functionality of the models proposed by Graupner and Brunner and Kindemi, we decided to make a model that uses the simplified calcium model from the former and the synaptic efficacy model from the latter, which doesn't account for the noise. We implemented this using a forward Euler solver in order to stay true to NestML's way of solving equations. In fact, the synapse is updated in an event-based way and not regularly, so it is tricky to solve nonlinear equations like others. Now let's talk about the results. Here we can see the difference between a positive and a negative time difference between a pre- and a postsynaptic spike. In both cases we have potentiation, but for the negative delta t it is smaller. Here we compared a bigger and a smaller positive delta t. The weight is higher for lower delta t's. When comparing the frequency of the spikes, we saw that the higher the frequency, the higher the weight, and that we can even have no change in weight at all. This is an example where the frequency is changed in the middle of the simulation. In conclusion, we succeeded in modeling the configuration in which we only have long-term potentiation that varies based on the delta t, as we can see here. What we asked ourselves after was, what if we initialize the rho differently? And what if we change conditions during the simulation? Some possible future developments for this project include experimenting this synapse model with different types of neuron models, calculating more accurate parameters, and implementing the synapse model inside the neuron models, because the neuron models update continuously. Thank you for your attention.